Hey guys, this is Old Bess here, bringing you guys another gold guide. Today I wanted to share some thoughts I've had recently about making gold in this game. I've learned quite a few things and I just wanted to share my opinion with you. There's a lot of new players that have a lot of confusion about how to make gold in this game. One thing I've noticed is that whenever there's a big patch, or obviously an expansion, that it's a great time to make money. I made a lot of money during 6.1 and also when the expansion hit. I made a lot of money. One example is once I hit level 100, instead of doing dungeons and challenge modes, I fished. And most people didn't know that the fish were worth so much, and at the time people needed them for feasts and stuff. They changed it later. But I was making 25 to 30 gold per fish. And I joked with my brother who plays this game as well that I was just fishing for gold and fishing for gear because I would just turn around, I'd sell it, and then I'd just buy the 665 bind on equip pieces of gear, and it was amazing. So that's one thing that I did. And so in general, that's really the best time. The best time to make money is when there's changes like that. When there's changes to crafting materials in particular, and if you research it and if you have some heads up about what's changing and stuff like that, then you can prepare for it. You can stock up on materials, or you can be more aware of things that you need to farm and stuff like that. So another thing is with professions is professions are excellent too, because there are certain professions, like right now, I was a miner and I actually gave it up because it was worthless for me. So instead I switched over to tailoring, and I did that because I solo old raids anyways, and I get extra cloth, and also I can make bags and armor and stuff like that. So I think another thing is be aware of your professions and know which professions are doing well, and don't be afraid to change your profession too. There's no harm in it. So that's one thing that I did that I'd recommend. I made a lot of money initially at the beginning of the expansion with enchanting, because the temporal crystals would sell for like 500 to 600 gold, and I had my main and my alt, and I just make those, and then so I made over 1,000 gold a day. And then I also would sell the enchants I just put them on a piece of paper, throw them on the auction house, and I make 2 to 3 times the profit. So another huge way that people make money, you see a lot of videos on this, is using the auction house. And one big way that people make a lot of money is they call it flipping. So they'll just buy something at a low price and then they'll turn around and sell it. And so there's an add-on, it's called Trade Skill Master. I can put a link here in the description for you guys, but that aids you in doing that. It helps you find low-priced items, and also it helps you list your auctions faster. So it's a great tool. There's a lot of videos out there of how to use it effectively, and flipping auctions is a great way. One problem though is right now we're in a stage of Warlords of Draenor where it's been out for a while, and so the market's kind of leveled out now. So there's not a lot of really high and low priced items. Things are just kind of sitting at kind of a medium level now. So it's a little harder to flip stuff, but and so that's why it's ideal, like I said, to just, if you look at the patch notes, like the public tusk realm, just check those out and see what's coming, and then that way you have an idea and you can make a lot of money. Another thing you can do with auction house is you can control an item. So for example, like with Savage Bloods, if I just went in there, did a search for them, and I just purchased all of them, and then I relist them at a higher price, and then if anyone decides to undercut me, then I would buy theirs and then post it at my price, and that way I always have control over the item, and people have to buy it at that price if they want it. So that's one thing that other people can do with the auction, other than just flipping items. And another thing you can do too is you can research, if there's a crafting profession that makes a certain thing. For example, first aid can make healing tonics, and so I looked into healing tonics because a few months back they were worth like 20 or 30 gold on my server, and I noticed that the required material for it was sea scorpions, and so I checked out sea scorpions and they were super cheap on my auction, and so I bought a couple thousand of them, and then I just started making healing tonics, and I made 300-400% profit off of those. So that's another thing you can do. But yeah, when you the problem with auction house for beginners is you can get burnt. A lot of new players, they just don't understand like some of the questions you need to be asking yourself when you're doing this type of stuff is like, you know, why are people buying this? What's a fair price? Also, what's the future price of this gonna be? And you just need to start asking yourself questions like that, so that way you don't get screwed over and the price plummets or something. You just need to be aware. You need to be aware of, like, if it's a crafting material, like, what does it make? Why do people want this? Why do people what does it make a piece of gear? Does it make a potion? What does it make? So you just have to be aware, and also just be aware of what people want right now. And then the other way, other than auction house, is just by just playing the game. Playing the game, you're going to be making money. Also, you can do the gold guides. Like, I'll be providing those guides for you guys. I have a couple out there if you guys want to check them out. So yeah, just check out the normal gold per hour videos. You can make a lot of that. Typically, Blizzard is really good. They're very, very good at identifying locations where you can make a lot of money quickly, and they nerf it very quickly. So most of the time they'll put the nerf hammer down pretty quickly on most of the good spots, but if you get lucky, maybe you can take advantage of a spot early on, but they're pretty good about that. But there's still a lot of good spots. There's a lot of good spots in Pandaria right now. In Draenor itself, I've been struggling finding things. Right now, really the only big money maker things for Draenor right now is like the auction house parts. So in your garrison you have a trading post, and there's some quests that you can do to get an auctioneer in your garrison. And so people are buying the ones that drop in the open world for a lot of money. They have a really low drop rate, and so it's all a bit luck based, but people try to farm those, and so that's one thing you can do. People farm fur too, which is worth doing too. Like the mammoths and the wolves and stuff like that is pretty good. But hopefully eventually Draenor will get like some sort of like potion of luck type of a thing like Pandaria has. I think that'll really benefit will really benefit us when it comes to Draenor. And so, but yeah, and I'm going to be checking out, I'm trying to find more and more ways to make money, and earlier I was kind of experimenting with the Pandarian old dungeons just to see how they did, and I haven't found any yet that were very lucrative, but I'm going to keep trying. So a lot of it is just trial and error and just trying to find good spots like that. So anyways guys, I hope this guide is helpful. Here in this video here, I'm just soloing the Bastion of Twilight. I'm soloing on heroic mode, 25 player, and these Cataclysm raids, like, that's another thing I would really suggest trying out. Is these bosses here, they're dropping 125 gold, and between like 6 to 8 epics, and then the trash drops a lot of Embersil cloth and greens and stuff that you can disenchant. So they're great. You make a lot. Just this run I made about 2,000 gold, and it took me about 15 minutes, so that's pretty good. So if you guys check those out, some of the older raids like Burning Crusade and stuff like that, it'll be less because the stuff just isn't worth as much, but Cataclysm and Wrath of the Lich King are still pretty good for that. And like I said, Pandarian raids and stuff like that, the mobs have so much health it gonna go really slow, so it's not really worth it right now. But anyways, I hope this helps, guys. Yeah, just keep that in mind. The auction house is a great way. It will take a lot of time. There's a lot of time involved in posting things and doing research, and and just checking on things. So I think sometimes the auction house, we make it out to sound like it's a very easy thing to do, but it does take a lot of time, just like farming. So I think the most important thing to do is just do what makes do what makes you happy, and just do what's fun, and 'cause that's what the game's all about. But anyways, guys, I hope this is helpful, and we'll see you next time.